Servus CRITWOLF. Today I want to show you how to win a technical criterium. First step, have a good start. If you're not lined up in the front, try to move up as quickly as possible and get into the top 15. If you're facing problem to click into a pedal, just wait until the first corner where you're coasting. This gives you time to click in. Today's course is pretty technical. Has a couple tight turns, a chicane, and the key point is the hairpin right 50 meters before the finish line. So for me it's the first lap. I haven't pre-written this course because there have been a couple more races on this course, so I'm just following the guys, take their lines and see what's going on here. First lap, the pace is high, the Peloton is single file, and this is not the point to move up right now, because all of the guys are pushing 400 or 500 watts, and if you want to just move up 1 or 2 spots, you have to put in a big effort, 600-700 watts, and that's not worth it. Just stay in line, take smooth corners, and wait for the right moment. And the right moment is always coming when the Peloton is slowing down, when it's bunching up, like here. I'm taking a little bit better line, I'm putting in a little effort, and I move up like 2-3 spots. And that's all you need. Right now I'm already in the top 10. A lap later, or a couple laps later, I did the same, and now I'm sitting top 5. And that's where I want to be. Because now I can control the race, I can react, and I can act. You can see the first guys get already dropped. And this is basically happening because of the accordion effect. The front of the Peloton can go smoothly through the corners, can keep the momentum, but the back, they have to brake even more than the front. They slow down and they have to sprint out of the corners. That's where you waste a lot of energy. For me, it's important to stay up front, to even pull through, to keep the pace high, because then more people get dropped and I have less competition in the end. So I'm just pulling through a little bit. I try to maintain the pace so it doesn't slow down, and this helps me to don't get too tired, but also to drop more people. Once the Peloton found its rhythm, it's pretty easy. Be aware of lapped riders, because this can cause trouble. There are obstacles sometimes, crashes can happen or gaps can open up, and you don't want to let this happen. When the group is slowing down, that's actually the moment when breakaways and attacks are happening, because a lot of more people can move up, and the difference in speed make it possible to get away from the Peloton, like it's happening here. And you have to know your competition. Which are the big teams? And 2 big teams are attacking right now, the Cadence and it's United. So I don't want to let them get away, and I follow this move. Because everyone is still fresh enough, they don't get away, the situation is neutralized. But every attack helps me to make everyone tired and to drop more people. For me, it's just important to ride as smooth as possible through the corners. One key is to take the outside line in technical criteriums, because you can keep more momentum and you have more speed out of the corner. So this is the key moment of the race. The pace slows down a little bit and Kyle is attacking. He's from United, I'm sitting on his wheel in position, so I just follow him. And right now I'm not sure if this break will go away, because it's only 2 people, but I look in the mirror and Jacob from Cadence Cycling is coming, and now we are 3 guys, 2 big teams and 1 professional, so that's the perfect scenario for me. Because the Peloton didn't pay attention and they didn't follow us immediately, we got a gap. So we have about 10 seconds, and now it's time to work as a team, work together and try to lap the field. Because the lap is pretty short and it takes us only about 45 seconds to get around it. So we work hard together. Actually, I don't want to lap the field, because if you lap the field, these 2 guys have teammates. And the better scenario for me would have been not lapping the field and race against them. But because the lap was so short, we immediately lapped them. So once we approach the Peloton, that's another dangerous moment, because these people can attack me and use the help of their teammates to not let me close the gap to the Peloton. So I'm going to the front of the group, close the gap, and also immediately go to the front of the Peloton, because I want to be in control of the race. And there also was another breakaway in between the Peloton and us. About 8 guys. And Jacob had the advantage of having 1 or 2 guys in this little breakaway. So it was on me and Carl to bring this breakaway back. Because right now 3 guys were racing for the podium, but if the group of 8 laps the field, it's 11 guys. And then I have to race against 10 guys instead of 2 guys. So Carl and me, we go to the front, we pull hard, we bring back the breakaway, and that's a good scenario for Jacob. He had 2 teammates in the breakaway, so he didn't have to pull through, and he's a little bit more rested than Carl and me. So one scenario would be to attack here, maybe go with a teammate and try to stay away from Carl and me. But luckily he chose a different strategy. He was going for a sprint because he had like 3-4 more guys in the Peloton, and that's a perfect lead-out train on this technical criterium. You only need like 2 guys or 1 guy in the end, get into perfect position. So the whole situation is neutralized. Now only 3 guys are racing for the podium. So I'm focusing only on Kyle and David right now. If anyone else gets away, I don't really care. Because it's only like 5-6 laps left, they won't lap the Peloton. Nothing happened, the Peloton stayed together, there were just a couple attacks but not important ones. Team Cadence makes sure to keep the pace high, and now we're coming into 2 laps to go. Now it's very important for me to not get boxed in or not get swarmed. Because the Peloton is together, there are a couple more riders who have interest in sprinting for 4th place, and I'm sitting 3rd right now. So if the pace slows down, a couple more riders overtake me and I'm sitting 15th place, which is not a good scenario for me. But luckily, Kyle chose a different tactic than me. He's not the best sprinter out of us 3, so he tries to attack early and keeps the pace high, which plays into my favor. Here he goes for attack, 1.5 lap to go, but Jacob is sitting on his wheel, he closes the gap. Kyle doesn't get away, I'm sitting 3rd wheel, perfect scenario for me. Now we come into the last corner, 1 lap to go. I'm taking the outside line, keep a lot of momentum, have to start pedaling later and save a lot of energy. So last lap, gaps are opening up, I have no risk of getting swarmed, and that's like what I wanted. Now I have to think about my strategy. How can I win this race in this scenario? It's only us 3 racing for the podium, and because they know I'm a good sprinter, they most likely think I'm sprinting out of the corner. But this last corner is very tight and I don't want to risk a crash. So Carl puts in another attack and I'm just waiting here for him to slow down for just a second, and that's happening here. So I go all out, I sprint, take the moment of surprise and get a gap before the last turn. And that's enough to take the win.